Hello, my name is Ben. I'm not a professional tech reviewer, as you will soon see, but I did recently purchase myself, and I'm very happy to say, a Evo 3D UK GSM edition, and I'm very, very happy with it. If you're anything like me, you've been looking forward to this phone for quite a while, you're still thinking about buying it, you've watched lots of reviews, and there's lots of really good reviews out there on YouTube. But I just wanted to spend a few minutes of my own time as somebody who just bought the phone, just to tell you a couple of little things that weren't mentioned in other reviews. A couple of good things and a couple of not so good things. So I hope you enjoy this, hope you find it helpful if you're thinking about buying one. Okay, I've entitled this video The Good, the Bad and the Future of the HTC Evo 3D. So I'm going to do it in that order. I'm going to say, start with the good. The first thing I want to say about this phone is the screen is amazing. Okay, you won't be grumbling with this screen. It's a really high pixel resolution. Can't remember exactly what it is, 960 by 480, something like that. It's really high, and you can see the difference. It looks wow when you first turn it on. You're amazed. You're amazed by the boot up screen. It's that crisp and clear. And I know some people have said it's not as good as the Samsung Galaxy S2 or the LG Optimus 3D on contrast and some things. And maybe that's true. You know, I've not had the phone long enough, and I've not sat with it side by side with the others. But why would I want to? You know, it's good enough. I'm not grumbling with the screen. It's a gorgeous screen. You know, I see it every day. I've seen it. I go, wow, it's amazing. It's beautiful, and that's what you want from a screen. And it does that. It's a good screen. Forget what people say about this being a bad screen. So in regards to 3D and the screen, we'll get back to that later on. It's a good screen. Don't be fooled by anyone. It's good. Okay. First off, second thing I want to say is that this little beauty has something in it, a magic trick in it, that the US, the red edition, does not have. And I'll show you what it is. This is my magic trick. I'm going to remove the back of the phone. Notice it is still turned on. Okay. I don't have a beautiful assistant to help me with this, so here we go. And I'm taking something out of the phone. What is this? It's the micro SD card, and the phone is still on. I haven't had to remove the battery or anything, and I can put it back in. Ta-da! Magic. Now, how many phones do you know that can do that? Unfortunately, HTC doesn't do that very often on the phones. In fact, they've never done any phone that I've ever had with them before. Hot swappable is not an option. But on this phone, it has got it, and it's worth it. Especially if you're talking about having 3D movies on your phone, which could be 3 or 4 or 5 gigs maybe in size. You want to be able to swap your SD card, you know, without mucking around. You don't want to waste time. So that's good. Okay. What else can I say? The camera is good on this phone. I know some people say it's not as good as other cameras. Maybe true. You know, I ain't got anything else to compare it to. It's the only phone I've got, but it's a fantastic camera. Video, 3D, 2D, everything. It's a good camera. Don't be fooled by anyone. Okay, it's a good camera. Okay, next quality thing I'd like to talk about is the parallax barrier, the 3D. I want to say something good about the 3D on this phone. Now, if you watch any reviews that compare this to the LG Optimus 3D, they're going to tell you lots of things that this isn't as good as the Optimus 3D on, and it's probably true. There are some things that this can't do that can do. That's much more all-rounded 3D phone. But there's a 3D trick that this has, the LG Optimus doesn't have, as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong down on the comments if you want. Now, this is a 3D image. I'm going to first show you in landscape, which is how it's supposed to be shown, and you can't really see it, I know. But the camera's not that good. It's too light. There we go. Anyway, but you can see, and I'll tell you, the 3D on that is excellent. It looks like they're really there. Hello, it's brilliant. It's gorgeous. I'm not going to grumble with that. I can't. So that's not surprising. Okay. What is surprising is if you turn around, look at the same picture in portrait. Yeah, the picture's still in landscape. But what's interesting is this image, as I'm looking at it now, is in 3D. That means it has a two-way parallax barrier. That means that if I'm looking in landscape or portrait, the parallax barrier still does its job. The LG Optimus 3D only has a one-way parallax barrier. This has a two-way parallax barrier. I don't think there's been any apps that have been released to take advantage of that, but it's possible. Developers out there, maybe you have an app that could be developed to fit this specific thing. Now we've had the good, now I'm going to move on to the bad, some of the quibbles about the phone. I want to talk about the build quality. Generally, the build quality of the phone is amazing. You know, it feels really solid. It's beautiful. It feels small for its size. You know, technically it's the same size as the LG Optimus 3D, but it feels small in your hands. No doubt about that. It's a nicer phone to hold. So well done HTC on that. But there's a couple of little niggles about the build quality I just want to point out. One is it has light bleed. So that means basically on the edges around the side of the phone, you know, between the glass and the plastic, light bleeds out. Now you can't notice it too much. I mean, I can see it now just about. You won't be able to see it on the camera. But when I've got my my Otterbox commuter case on here, it's really noticeable. And I just think that's a really tacky thing. But saying that's a quibble. It's a tiny little quibble. I'm not really bothered about that. There is one thing I'm slightly bothered about in regards to the build quality. The camera button. It's a really good camera button. I like having a camera button, but it's really wobbly. I'm not sure that's going to last me 18 months. I've got an 18-month contract. Some of you guys may get a 24-month contract. You don't want a button that's going to fall off after 3 or 4 months, do you? Now, I trust HTC. Now, guy, if you're a HTC guy out there, if you're employed by HTC, I trust you, and I believe that this is going to last for 18 months. I have faith in you. If it doesn't, I'll be in touch. Okay, a couple of things. The 3D is pretty hard to watch. 3D is really good for 2D photographs, but it's good for video as well, but it's not as good. It's harder to keep it in the right place. There's no kickstand like there was in the old Evo, so it's much harder to keep it in the right place to watch a movie, and if you get it slightly off, the things in the background can look really blurry, so it's really quite difficult. But that's a quibble as well. You know, you probably get used to it, probably figure a way around it in the future. Battery life. It's got a big battery. The battery still doesn't last all day. I'm so annoyed about that. How can you have a smartphone with a battery that doesn't last all day? It does my nutting. Perhaps if you don't do any 3D stuff on the phone, you'll get it to last you the day. But if you play Spider-Man for 20 minutes, if you watch a 3D movie, you've killed your battery. There's no point in trying. You do need extra battery if you want to use this phone to pieces. I mean, I hammer my phones. I'm not a light user, I'm a heavy user. And I will be of this phone too. But at the moment, it's not letting me be. I'm having to charge it at least once, maybe even twice a day. Okay, now that's the good, the bad, now the future. Now, I've talked about what this phone does that the LG doesn't do. But there's some things that the LG does that this phone doesn't, and specifically, the LG converts 2D images into 3D images and 2D movies into 3D movies. What a fantastic thing! Apparently, 3D TVs have been doing this for a while, and that's probably why LG have got the edge on this one, because HTC don't make TVs, and LG have got this technology. And apparently, it isn't hardware. Software related. So that means there is a program in the LG Optimus that is making the thing do that. Okay, and this has better spec, better hardware than the LG Optimus 3D. It does. Sorry LG owners, it does. But I'll let you have the fact that your phone has got better 3D. Okay, we won't argue with that. So this could technically do what the LG does. It could. It could. If HTC were to put a bit of work into it, it could. But you know what? I don't think they're going to bother. I'm hoping that somebody on the XDA community out there may be able to flash a ROM that's got the LG software cooked into it. That would make this phone cream cheese as far as I'm concerned. It'd be awesome. You've heard my review. Hope you like it. I got this phone, 18-month contract, £30 a month. $9.99 up front, 18 months, that's really good. And I got that from buymobilephones.net. Worth checking out. They do good prices on phones. You can also get it on 12 months from mobiles.co.uk if you don't mind forking out £149.99, and that's £30 a month. I was considering that to get a 12-month contract. I'll have one of those for 3 or 4 years. That's the HTC Evo 3D. If you want it, get it. Don't be put off by some of the negative reviews out there. You will not be disappointed by this phone. I think it beats the iPhone 4. I don't know if it'll beat the iPhone 5 when it's coming out, but hey, we'll see. I'm going to have this for 18 months. I'm going to be happy with it, and I'm sure you guys will be too.